Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. In this video we're going to be looking at C64 games from Protovision and Psytronik software that could come to Evercade at some point, maybe even this year. Now Blaze have been asking for these games or potential games you'd like to see from these labels. It's in the Discord channel if you don't believe me. So there is high potential we could see collections from these very soon. Let's have a look at the potential games that could happen. So before we get stuck into the details, I recalled one of the games called Soulless, which was released on the C64 Mini as part of a firmware update, and I'm pretty sure that came part of, I think it was Psytronik that published this title. I'm sure at this time we also got Barnsley Badger, which we'll show later in the video as well. A really cool sort of platform style game, but let's have a look at the websites and we'll look at some of the games that we could actually see before I show some of the footage of the games in action. So let's have a look at their websites first before we jump into the actual game footage. First off, we'll look at Psytronik's software, then Protovision. Both publish brand new indie style C64 games, and they have done for a number of years now. You can look at the picture there, you can see the monster from Mayhem and Monsterland. I can't remember the name of the character, so perhaps maybe they own the license to that. We might see that as well at some point. Now looking at the brand new games that's been released recently, we've got Avalan and Ladybird, which I think were released at the end of last year. And they are both pretty cool. I haven't actually had a chance to play them, but I've looked at the details and they are very well reviewed titles. They've released tons and tons of games over the last few years, and they are practically keeping the C64 scene alive. We've got Goodnight and Har Harrigan, which I will play in this video. Both are really cool titles, and as you see there are tons and tons of stuff here that have been released under their labels over the last few years. I'm sure you'll recognise some of them, some you probably won't have. A few of these might have been released on C64 Mini, and some of them, as I said earlier in the video, were released as part of firmware updates for free, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm pretty sure these games could be possible. Blaze did reach out and ask which games do you want to see from these labels, so I'm pretty sure there's been conversations had, and this was quite some time ago. This was a couple of years ago where they actually instigated this. Now this is from Protovision, and Yeti Mountain and Pig Quest are two outstanding games. I think they were certainly voted as Game of the Year, or maybe one of them actually was, but two great titles released in the last year or so on C64, which is just fantastic. Now some of the games are released in physical form as well, but I think for the best part, obviously, I'll most likely just play them digitally. I do still have my C64 physical, but it's much easier to play them digitally these days. Now Sam's Journey is another game that I would love to see appear on Evercade. It's such a cracking game, graphically superb. It's like a kind of cross between Gianna Sisters and Super Mario, but on the C64. It is very high quality, much like a lot of the games that are published by Protovision and Psytronik. Really high quality games that might even surpass some of the games you remember back in the day. They're certainly pushing the graphics and details and sound a lot further in some of the games you can remember from back in the time when C64 was super popular. Anyway guys, let's have a look at some of the games in action. Okay guys, so let me know what you think. What games would you like to see under these labels? Now this will happen at some point, I'm sure of it. I'd be really shocked if it doesn't. Whether it'll be this year or next year, it's definitely going to appear at some point. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Catch you again next one. Bye for now.